All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about one of the most fascinating and seriously misunderstood figures in all of West African mythology, Eshu. Now, he gets this reputation as a trickster, but what we're about to find out is that his tricks, well, they're designed to teach some pretty profound truths.
So, first things first, we have got to clear up a huge misunderstanding. You see, when early Christian missionaries first encountered the Yoruba religion, they needed a stand-in for their idea of the devil, and they picked Eshu. But as you can see here, that could not be more wrong. He's not some malicious agent of chaos. He's a divine messenger, a keeper of cosmic balance, and the Orisha of the crossroads.
So who is Eshu, really? Well, he's the Orisha, that's a deity who governs crossroads, duality, and communication. Think of him as the ultimate cosmic go-between. He's the one standing right at the intersection between our world and the divine world, and his job is to carry messages back and forth. Literally, without him, there's no communication between people and the gods. It just doesn't happen.
Now, because of the transatlantic slave trade, the Yoruba people and their beliefs were carried all across the Americas. And as these traditions found new homes, Eshu's story evolved too. In Cuba, for example, he became known as Alagua. In Haitian Vodou, you'll hear the name Papa Legba. The names might change, and some of the practices might differ, but they're all connected to this one powerful, gate-opening force.
But you know, definitions only get you so far. To really get Eshu, you have to see how he operates. And there's no better way to do that than by looking at his most famous story, a kind of parable that tells you everything you need to know about his unique way of teaching.
So the story goes like this. Picture two best friends. They've known each other their whole lives, they live on opposite sides of a road, and they've sworn that nothing will ever come between them. One day, Eshu decides to take a walk down that very road. The friend on one side sees a man stroll by wearing a bright red hat. The friend on the other side sees the exact same man, but he's wearing a jet black hat. So they start talking and then arguing, and soon they're in a full-blown fight, each one absolutely convinced the other has lost his mind. Their lifelong friendship, totally destroyed.
And just when things are at their worst, Eshu reappears. He shows them the hat, red on one side, black on the other, and delivers the lesson. See, this is the whole point. His trick wasn't about being mean or causing random chaos. It was a test. Eshu created this conflict to expose a massive truth. Your reality depends entirely on where you stand. Both friends were telling the truth about what they saw, but they were both completely wrong because they refused to even consider another perspective.
That lesson, that idea of duality and perspective, it's literally baked into everything about him. If we take a look at his traditional symbols, we can decode his whole purpose in the universe. Let's break this down, because it's really cool. The crossroads, obviously, is his domain. It's the place of choice, of chance, where paths intersect. His two faces, that signifies that he sees everything, the past and the future, the good and the bad, all at once. The cowrie shells used to be a form of money, so they represent the payment or offering needed to open up that line of communication. And my favorite, the hooked staff, he can use it to create an obstacle that forces you to think, or he can use it to snag an opportunity you never even saw coming and pull it right toward you. So this role as the great communicator, the messenger, brings us to what is maybe his most crucial function in Yoruba worship. He's not just another Orisha you can pray to. No, he's the essential first step.
And this isn't a suggestion, it's like the #1 rule. Because Eshu is the guardian of the path between the worlds. No prayer, no offering, no message can get through to any of the other Orishas unless he is acknowledged first. You have to go through him. If you ignore the gatekeeper, your prayers simply go nowhere.
So how do you honor him? How do you make sure your message gets delivered without any of his famous twists? Well, you make offerings or libations to get his attention and his favor. This usually includes things he's known to enjoy, like rum or tobacco, certain foods like maize, and even specific songs and dances performed just for him. It's all about showing respect to the keeper of the gates.
So let's bring it all back home. Eshu is not the Yoruba devil. He's not an agent of chaos just for the heck of it. He is a divine catalyst. He introduces challenges, he creates uncertainty, he shakes things up, but he does it to force us to change, to see things in a new way, and to reflect on our own beliefs. He's the necessary force that stops the world from getting stuck.
And really, that's the ultimate lesson he leaves us with, and it's just as powerful today as it ever was. He forces us to ask a really important and kind of uncomfortable question. What is something you believe to be an absolute truth, that if you just took a few steps to the side, might look like a completely different color?